What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. And from New York Magazine, can America survive a second Trump presidency emotionally? Okay, so he knows that, yes, we can. If we can survive a Joe Biden presidency, we can certainly survive a Donald Trump presidency. Well, obviously, Donald Trump's not perfect. Nobody is. He is a far cry better than Joe Biden. It's just the facts. You can look at the numbers, right? But these people want to play on the heartstrings. They want to talk about emotionally, right? But he's admitting in this one sentence that obviously we can, but our feelings are going to be hurt. We just don't, Orange Man bad. He's so mean. He's not even that dude. Everybody loved him for 15 seasons on The Apprentice. There's a 5 or 6 minute compilation of rappers name dropping him as an aspirational goal. But when he got into politics, that all changed. It was a complete 180. And now you just can't handle it. Your emotions, your feelings are hurt because Donald Trump might be president. Give me a break. Like, it's all absolute insanity. You guys threw everything at the wall. You try to get him from P-tapes to N-words, Stormy Daniels, Russia, Ukraine, the list goes on. You want nothing more than to see this guy put in jail. And then you want to say, well, can we survive this emotionally? Give me a break. How did you even get this job? You want to talk about you can't survive the president emotionally? What are you talking about? It's been another long, painful week in the endless saga of Donald J. Trump's serial assault on American sensibilities. Who writes this stuff? You guys are the ones assaulting American sensibilities. The teachers and the weirdo media people talking about a little boy can become a little girl, the sun monster, the list goes on. All of these extreme positions, you guys are quite literally the ones assaulting American sensibilities. But as with everything, they will project every single thing they're doing across the aisle and pretend it's you, right? They poke the bear, they poke the bear, they poke the bear, they poke the bear, and then the bear swipes back, and then their pearls are clutched. Like, how could this happen? It's always you, every single time. It continues. In recent days, the twice impeached president, they're laying it on so thick. They're trying to pretend like, oh, well, twice impeached. Bro, that was all a political hit job. They do these things to him. They try to get rid of him and then pretend like those were legitimate attacks, right? No, it was all about getting rid of Donald Trump. So for you to pretend like he's been impeached twice, how can you live with that? It's like it was all against him. It was all, on behalf of people like you, your ilk, these weirdo media personalities who are in the pocket of the Democratic establishment, right? So they're pretending like he was impeached twice. I can't believe anybody would still support it. Yeah, well, believe it, because you are unfortunately in the minority. And we could talk about, election irregularities at a different time. Same thing in Arizona, right? The numbers just don't add up. But if you question it, you will be banned. They can even come out. Time magazine notoriously wrote a big essay about the shadow cabal that fortified the election, but you have to pretend they're telling us they did it for our safety, right? It was a complete and total scam. Right? And then you got a guy who could barely put together a sentence as the president, and everything just starts collapsing. But it's better than big, mean orange man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, everybody needs to take a step back and stop pretending that this guy is just the monster that he is. Because like I said, everybody loved him for 15 years on The Apprentice. Rappers talked about him. He was friends with Oprah. The list goes on. But for some reason, this establishment, this blob, got into people's heads and manipulated their thinking so viciously that they don't even understand why they don't like Donald Trump. Oh, he's racist. Mexicans are rapists. Like, what, dude? It's all absolute insanity. And then you want to say that he's the one assaulting American sensibilities, not the people claiming that a little boy can magically become a little girl, and in fact should. And we should send drag queens in to read stories to them at the library in 2nd grade, right? It doesn't make any sense. So I've said it 100 times, but if a regular grown man in jeans and a t-shirt showed up and started reading books to kids, it would not be okay. And if a stripper showed up at a library and started reading books to kids, it would not be okay. But as soon as you have a man dressed up as a woman, it is okay. But Trump's the one assaulting American sensibilities. Give me a break. The twice impeached president whose phony election irregularity claims precipitated a constitutional crisis and an attack on the Capitol has warned of death and destruction if he's arrested. He called the Manhattan District Attorney, who appears to be closest to taking that step, a degenerate. He is. Whoever wrote this is obviously a degenerate. What's the guy's name here? Ed Kilgore. Yeah, you guys are all degenerates. This entire publication is degenerate. You obviously get your talking points from up on high. Nobody writes this and truly believes it. Like maybe he believes it, but he knows that he has to. I mean, right? It's not a lie if you believe it. It's all ridiculous, and they've thrown all logic out the window, right? And they've done a good job at putting Trump between a rock and a hard place, even with Rona, right? If Trump does nothing, then they say he wants you to die, he doesn't care. But if Trump shuts down the economy, they say, oh, he killed your business, oh, he caused inflation. So they've done a good job at making sure that people think there's a handful of people who still buy all this nonsense, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Look, you don't have to like the guy, but to pretend that he's the one assaulting American sensibilities is just patently false. It's ridiculous, and this guy is a paid propagandist, and it shows. I'm not going to be able to make it through this entire article because it's just going to make my blood boil. But it continues. He's been firing off wild smears and slurs of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. So now you want to come to the defense of Ron DeSantis, and any other time you would absolutely hate Ron DeSantis. And if Ron DeSantis does officially throw his hat into the ring, you're going to pretend that, oh, he's a racist, and he's a bigot, and he's a homophobe, and all this stuff. So it doesn't matter. They all just want control. Where DeSantis' accomplishments are all a mirage, which is kind of true. And I've called out Ron DeSantis a long time ago because he did, and this is not the reason that most people give for not liking him. You know, maybe he's kind of pulled the wool over people's eyes with this whole Disney thing and some of the bills or whatever, and a hotel that he claimed he took away their liquor license for doing a drag show, and it all turned out to be not really true. But before all that, I was saying that DeSantis was trying to rewrite history and pretend that Florida was always this beacon of freedom, which it was not. I was in Florida, and there were people telling me to put on a mask to get into an outdoor restaurant. Think about that. So he was pretending, oh, it was always about freedom. No, bro, you were on board at first too. But that's a different story. And it doesn't even really matter because this isn't about Ron DeSantis, but they want to make it seem like they want to make it seem like Donald Trump is attacking Ron DeSantis, well, which he is. But now they want to make Ron seem like the good guy. Like, we like Ron DeSantis. No, you don't. Your whole thing is about towing the line for the establishment party, and you get paid to do it. It's absolutely despicable. And this weekend, he's bringing his apocalypse projecting carnival to Waco, Texas, on the 30th anniversary of the bloody FBI siege of a heavily armed cult in a compound near that city. Trump continues to make himself the center of attention by sheer determined perversity. These people are insane. New York Magazine, The Intelligencer, I mean, they are absolutely insane. They're little robot zombies. They do what they're told. From up on high, some man behind the curtain is telling him, write another hit piece, write another smear piece. It's absolute insanity. So for him to say, can America survive a second Trump presidency emotionally, is him saying, we obviously can, but we won't like it. And we all know it's going to, nobody, even on the left, they don't even like Joe Biden. They just, their heels are so dug in. They've been forced and trained and brainwashed to hate Donald Trump, but they also know they can tell they don't like Joe Biden. Now, they don't like Joe Biden because he's not radical enough. He's not crazy enough, even though his brain is mush. You know, it's leaking out of his ears at this point, and the man can't even put a sentence together. But this headline alone says, absolutely 100% we can, and that's why he throws the word emotionally on it. Because this grown man is worried about the emotions that a man he's probably never even met is going to do to his fifis. His little feelings are going to get hurt. It's absolutely despicable. New York Mag is nothing better than cage liner. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.